When you come to that fork in the road, take it. Hello, my name is Marcelo Vignali, and I want to talk today about how do you make the right decision for your life. At some point, you're going to be coming to a crossroads, and you've got a decision to make. You've got two paths to go down, and that's when we sort of fret, like which path is the right path, which is the wrong path, and there's all this trepidation that goes with it. And it reminds me of that quote that Yogi Berra, the famous Yankee coach, said. It's like, when you come to that fork in the road, take it. Now, Yogi Berra was always coming up with sort of funny puns and these, I guess they just called them Yogi Berra-isms, that he would take something sort of funny, but there's actually a lot of truth to it. He was the same one that said, it ain't over till it's over. And again, it's one of those things, it sticks. Why? It's not only funny, but there's a lot of truth to it. So in this case here, when you come to the fork in the middle of the road, what do? And he says, you take it. What does that mean? I think what it means is that you're given an opportunity. It could be the left path. It could be the right path. But the important thing is that you take that opportunity. You don't let that go by. So many times, I think, in our lives, we're presented with some of these circumstances, and we fret over that. We've with that choice, which one is the right one, which one is the wrong one. But when you think about it, we never really choose the wrong one, do we? We, in terms of our career, we have, and our life as well, we have these two choices in front of us, and we try to weigh them. We look at the options. We say, like, well, which one would be better for me? Which one? And we weigh all of these pros and cons, and then we make a decision. So invariably, we never make wrong decisions. It's only in hindsight that we look back and like, oh, that's why. And some of these events sometimes are unforeseen. Sometimes there's a collapse of the economy. Other times there's, like we're living right now, there's a global pandemic. And during these times, nobody could have predicted these things. And let's say you went into a business venture at that time, and a few months into it, the pandemic hits and it upends your entire plans. But one of the things that's important to consider is that, look, things are going to change. You're going to make a choice, and you're going to weigh your options as to which is the better path. You're going to choose that particular path, but things are going to change. There's one thing that remains constant, is change. And we have this, we're going to have these changes coming at us, and we're going to have to adapt. And it's our ability to adapt that is going to be crucial to our success. So in this case here, the game changes. It's no longer the same game, and we have to make sure that we go along with it, and we make those changes as well, and we adapt. And it's funny because sometimes, like when I got into animation, and at the time that I did, the industry had more or less remained the same for 90 years, since Gertie the dinosaur. Pretty much the principles of animation had remained at a constant. But I got into the business, and after I started to mature as a professional, suddenly the entire game was upended, and we ended up going to CG animation. CG really changed things for a lot of people. And I remember that there were a lot of professionals that were older than me that simply got out of the business altogether. The business was no longer done and practiced in a way that they felt comfortable or that they understood, and they simply got out of the business. For myself, I adapted, and I think that's important for us to adapt, because you have to understand that things are going to change. They're not going to remain constant. They're constantly in a state of flux. And here's another wrinkle. You change. That's right. It's not just the changes are happening to us, but we're also changing. And we have to make adjustments as per our change. You're not the same individual that you were at the start of the journey. when you're starting out your career, you want to take more chances. Why? Because you can afford to. When I was younger, I tried to make sure that I took chances, not for the money, but for what was going to get me to the next level. What was going to get me to that next plateau? What was it? Was it working with a gentleman? I remember I had an opportunity to work with Phil Barlow, and I jumped at that chance. That's what I wanted. I wanted to work with this man because I knew that he was going to be able to elevate my work. And then later on, when I was comfortably over at Walt Disney Imagineering designing theme parks and themed attractions, I had an opportunity to go and work with Hans Bacher on The Legend of Mulan. And again, I took that chance because I knew that that person was going to get me to the next level. But then as I've been growing and as I've been developing as a professional, then my goals start to change. I'm changing. I'm no longer that young kid that was always looking for this new plateau. Now I've built up a certain level of experience, and I have to work from that experience. So it's important to kind of figure out where you are. I remember this one gentleman was talking about that each of us are in a season in our lives. And this particular, when you think about it, when you're born in the spring, then you, in the summer, it's when you sort of come into fruition. And then in the fall, you're a mature, seasoned professional, or in your life, you're a much more mature and seasoned person. And then you go into the winter of your life. And so there's a season. And he said only a fool would attempt to plant in the fall and harvest in the summer. Harvest in the winter. And as a result of that, and that's one of the things that you have to kind of prepare, get your mind for that. Like, where am I? So it's not just the, your journey. Like, this is my goal. This is where I want to go. Oh, things are changing. I have to adapt. I have to make changes. But also take into consideration that you yourself are changing and that you have to adapt to those changes. There's another saying I heard. I thought this one was really important. And it's that you can't take it with you. Think about your life. All the things that you are able to get, and the opportunities you have to work, and the relationships that you have a chance to build, places you can go, and all of these things is that you can't take it with you. But I've been thinking about that, and I think that one of the things that you do take with you, and a lot of people take it all the way up to their deathbed, which is regret. And regret is something that a lot of people take with them to the grave. So when you have a choice between going either right or going left, and you've come to that fork in the road, do as Yogi Berra said and take it. Because by taking that opportunity, doesn't matter if it's right, doesn't matter if it's left, by taking that opportunity, you will have eliminated the biggest mistake that you could make in your life, which is the mistake of doing nothing and living with that regret. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.